all. Welcome and welcome back to Illuminate the Oracle, my precious illuminators. Happy to have you as always, all right? I want to firstly thank y'all for all y'all do around here. I thank y'all for the love. I'm always humbled by that, especially the likes and your subscribes. It all helps my channel continue to grow. Thank you for your comments. Y'all really show out in the comments. And I really, especially for the last video, sometimes I'll soapbox a little bit, but I always try to bring the vibe back, even if I have to soapbox a little bit. So I appreciate all the support that y'all gave when I was just trying to soapbox through a little bit. And so yeah, I love our tribe. I just mm, mm. So yeah, thank y'all, thank you. Sending peace and love and blessings to everybody. Okay. I feel like I can just kind of start there. Yeah, this is gonna be a collective love reading for all signs. Collective love reading for all signs. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this prayer because we got some things to jump off into. All right, wishing and hoping and praying and showing that you care. So yeah, we got some best friend thing, wedding things, of stuff to talk about. Unions, chasers and runners and things. We got some things to hash out here. So let's jump into this prayer, darlings. Father God, Mother Divine, Archangel Michael, please cover me and my collective as we receive these messages today. We only seek messages of your highest vibration, messages that you deem for us to receive. Any ill will or evil energy sent our way, kindly remove and return the energy back to its rightful owner. Bind them up in their own energy so it can never harm anyone again. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. Okay. So I think as we do this more and more, I think some of y'all kind of get a little bit more of a gist of how I kind of like to do things sometimes when it comes to readings. It's like sometimes inspiration hits me like I don't know, a pocket full of pocket full of sunshine. I gotta love, and I know that it's all mine now. Take me away. I don't know where that song came from. Somebody could be called Natasha, or may have someone may have the initials of NB because her name is Natasha Bedingfield. Um, so sometimes inspiration is just kind of like sparkles, just pieces, right? Just pieces of things. And I like patterns. I like connecting things together. And so sometimes in a reading, I'll just have that. Sometimes I won't have that. You know. Here we go. So I'm not sure how I'm doing this today, but I know it's heavily centered around the movie My Best Friend's Wedding because it was something about this morning where I was just heavily pulled specifically to um, the image of those two characters of Julie Roberts' character and Cameron Diaz, Cameron Diaz, Diaz character. Whew, in that movie, and it's that picture of Cameron and her gorgeous yellow um, color and that gorgeous scarf. Um, and Julia's wearing that lavender purple bridesmaid's dress. And it was that image that really sparked this for me because I thought to myself, I mean, because I love this movie. Like for so many of us, I've loved this movie for so many years. And I started off my love for this movie doing what I was programmed to do. Love Julie Roberts. She was the leading lady. You know, I was a child when it came out. It came out in 1997. And it really is something significant about 1997 because this is the second thing, at least for me, I don't know. Or maybe for some of y'all, 1997. Because we went into like a song this week that was also released in 1997. Don't Let Go. We Had the Right to Lose Control. Don't Let Go of Love. by In Vogue. That was also released in 1997. Um, so it's something about this movie that was very unique for its time because it wasn't going to tell the tale of your. It wasn't going to be a typical romantic movie. It was really going to shake up the norms here, whether we realized it or not. I think the movie was really ahead, so much ahead of its time, and so beautifully constructed because it was all there for us. But it was up to the audience to decipher what that meant. They weren't going to like force us to choose a side here. It was almost like they just wanted the audience to just see all of the evidence so we could connect the dots and assume what the story was actually about here. Um, because the story actually was, and this is why I love Julie Roberts. This is why she will always be a legend in my eyes because she didn't just play, she didn't mind playing unlikable characters, even in the realm of romance. And sometimes when you delve in the realm of romance, you want to be the most likable character, so your audience will love you. You'll still popular forever, a movie star, blah blah blah. Right, you're a popular audience. Right, when you can say what your audience want you to say all the time and be that way, then hey, right. But Julia was like the kind of like she could play these unlikable characters and still be likable because it's just her own charm, her own magic that made these very unlikable characters still very likable. Because, for many years I still rooted for her character despite the fact that she was a blatant villain. She was a leading lady in this movie. But was she really the leading lady of this movie? Ah. Because I've said before in this on this channel, sometimes when we talk about movies, they'll drop us off where they think they want us to be, but that doesn't mean we have an idea of how the movie started, what happened before, what happened after. Movies just put us where they want us to be, and so I think for my little self, my childhood self, regardless of what she was doing, I still rooted for her. I still was just like, okay, girl, get your man then, right? And it was something about, and since I decided that, it was almost like I already decided that Cameron Diaz's character was the villain. Like, girl, who do you think you are? You stepping on our territory here, right? Who are you? You a newbie. Who are you? And so by the time we're even introduced to Cameron Diaz's character, it's almost like she's presented like a third party interference. It's like she's presented as someone that's in the way. It's like we already hate her as she shows up on screen already. What a plight she had to deal with. Her name was Kimmy. What a plight Kimmy had to deal with already. She showed up on screen being hated. She showed up on screen being judged. We judged her so hard. I know I did. I said, "Oh, look at her. She just seems extra. Oh, she's so nice. She's fake. Oh, look at her. Just look at her, girl. Like anything that she did, she was being picked apart every step of the way by the audience, right? Because she was being painted like the interference. That's where confusion can be. Sometimes a karmic, we've seen this happen all the time, where karmics will paint you like the interference, like you're the one in the way. Okay, so Kimmy, right? The beautiful thing about Kimmy in that movie, Best Friend's Wedding, Six of Wands. The thing about Kimmy is that she felt just as awkward about the situation as Julie Roberts' character. And it wasn't like she was trying to play it Miss Perfect Puddles. It wasn't like she was trying to pretend like there wasn't tension. It was just that she decided. She made a decision. I'm gonna put on my big girl or big boy pants. Yeah, I know that this is my person's ex, or this is my person's friend, or this is someone from my person's past, but I'm gonna put forth my best effort, not only to be cordial, but to be an angel, but to really she really Kimmy really pulled Julie Roberts' character under her wing. She wasn't just playing nice with her. She wasn't just pretending with her. She was honest with her. She said, "Look, girl, I know this is awkward. I know this is strange. I know I have my apprehension in meeting you myself, but I just thought, we can do this because Kimmy really thought we could do this. She really is an angel, right? It almost like she wasn't pretending at all. It almost throughout the movie you start to see more and more that Kimmy really is. She's not the fake one. The fake one is the one that's doing all this plotting and planning behind the scenes, trying to convince people who you are, right? As if they couldn't tell themselves who you are. They want to get inside these people's ear to convince you or convince them of who you are. That's what Julie Roberts' character was doing in the movie. She was trying to get whomever she could on her side because what she was doing was crazy. But that was the test of the audience to see what was our boundaries. What do we consider to be a limit? What do we consider to be a boundary? Like, what is too much? Are we the kind of person that sits in a group and says, um, I feel you, girl, but I think we're doing too much here. Okay? Regardless of how the group reacts to you, that still shows an independent minded person. That's just like, girl, I don't know how this looks. This doesn't look right. Okay? This seems desperate. This seems icky. There's an ick factor now. But it was that ick factor that Julie Roberts was showcasing in that movie was still able to be hidden because her acts were still hidden. Okay? So by the time we get to say the middle of the movie, where her intention, Julie Roberts' intention, is still to publicly shame or embarrass Kimmy in some kind of way. Okay? But here, strength. August can be significant. Leo can be significant here. Ah, and look at those chakras going here. We got chakras and then we got the Ace of Pentacles. So we can automatically assume that the Ace of Pentacles is that offer. Is that what engagement? Is that marriage? Is that is the contract, right? And that's what the movie is about. My best friend's wedding. We start off with this is a contract. This is what's going on. But our leading lady, she's made it her task to stop this, to put an end to it, to put the kibosh on it. Okay? Strength card. But she's not able to see something. She's not able to see something that Julie Roberts' character. She still thinks that there's a possibility that she could win. And she even probably counted her win too early. She probably predicted success too early because in her mind, Cameron Diaz's character represented everything that she, in her mind, despised. She thought she was just too corny, too prim and proper, too uptight, too judgmental. Where she got to be more of she was playing more of that. Honestly, Julie Roberts' character was playing more of a. I'm not like your average girl. I'm a cool girl. I'm a cool girl. She was definitely giving that energy on purpose. It's just brilliant. Like so many decisions of that movie was perfectly orchestrated and planned because they all played their parts beautifully. And so yeah, that was Julie. Julie's intention was to portray that character like, oh yeah, I'm just too cool for school while she's uptight. But the reality of it was Julie Roberts' character that was uptight and judgmental. It was not Chrissy. Chrissy actually was very open minded. Despite seeming very preppy and wound up, she actually wasn't wound up. She actually was quite ballsy. A good example of that was karaoke scene, where it was intended for her to be humiliated. It was intended for her to be publicly humiliated. At karaoke, where Julie Roberts' character, she said, "Look, we're not gonna. She's not. She doesn't want to do it. Okay, she doesn't want to do it." And then she hands her the mic anyways. Oh, she does want to do it. She thought that that would be a turning point, that her person, the divine masculine, will look at Chrissy and go, "Oh, what? Who are you? You're not my person." That's what she anticipated was going to occur as soon as Chrissy would have opened her mouth, sounding like a screeching cat. And guess what? When she opened her mouth, she did sound like a screeching cat. She sounded horrible. And guess what happened? She won the room over. She didn't just, she didn't, it wasn't just her man, her counterpart, that fell even deeper in love with her. It was the entire room that fell in love with her. Earth angel energy, divine feminine energy. Sometimes people will plan things against you, and whatever plots and plans that they had, that they intended, whatever trap they set for you, you sit in that trap. Divine feminine will sit in that trap like a magician escorting their leading lady into that box to cut and dangle them, and you go, oh, woo, oh. Will they survive? How do they do it? Magic. Divine feminine, like it's like the universe, Father will allow divine feminine to just sit and rest in these traps. Why? To humiliate divine feminine? No. Was Chrissy humiliated? No. She got her proper, she got her honors because being allowing herself not to run away from a situation, but to allow herself to just feel her way through, to follow her intuition, and just to let herself go, allowed her to shine in a way that nobody expected her to shine. And so she won over that entire room with her cat screeching voice. That's the magic of divine feminine. And y'all didn't even think y'all was rooting for her. I didn't think I was rooting for her. This movie's fantastic. Because all of a sudden we're rooting for somebody that we didn't expect to root for. What else was I saying? Where else we going here? Holy Spirit. What else we going here? Yeah, Hierophant. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Okay. Okay. So Julia Roberts, Ace of Wands in the reverse. She got the game twisted as it pertained to this particular courtship in my best friend's wedding because she thought it was something that she wanted, but it wasn't something that she wanted. It was her ego. She thought she desired that man. She didn't desire that man. It was her ego. Why? Because one day, once upon a time, they made an agreement when they were children that if they make it to 28 and are still not married, that they would choose each other. Okay, but your friend, your this friend that you likely haven't connected with for some time is reaching out to you to let you know that they have in fact found their person and would like you to be a part of it. But the divine masculine, Delmit Maroney, I can't think of his character's name in the movie, but he's definitely divine masculine. Okay, he had to learn who Julia Roberts' character became because he knew of her when they were young and silly. But he had grown so much that he just assumed that she would be so welcoming about all this new success and change in his world, in this spiritual connection that he feels so drawn to. He wanted her to be a part of it. But she had the wrong intentions every step of the way. Her intention was to delay it because she thought that she had more of an attachment or more of a right to him. But she didn't realize the right is that this person was assigned to a spiritual connection. whatever what she thought she had with him, because that's what it was. They both had different ideas about the relationship, and that's what the movie made so obvious to us if we were paying attention. Divine Masculine, or Del Maroney's character, was always viewed Julia Roberts' character as okay. That's when we were young. That's when we were confused, and that's when we were jaded. We were jaded about love, and he thought that they had grown up together, like grown up and grew better. He would find out in the movie that she was a hidden villain and that she did not grow up and that she was working against everything that he was working toward. Okay, he had to discover that. So that's divine masculine discovering the karmics within their past, right? We see how that's worked, how that's showcased in this movie as well. How he had to really discover that, and his friend, like, oh my gosh, you did all this? It had to be revealed. And that's another reason how you know the characters on the board and who's divine feminine and who's the karmics, who's divine masculine. That's how you know who the players are on this board. All of a sudden, the people that you deem to be the leading character is starting to turn into the villains that they always kind of show themselves to be. Because what happened? What does she ultimately end up trying to do to murder this connection? Well, she just tried to, she arrived to the wedding. She arrived to the location, right? To try to stop it there. To try to kiss him. She kissed him. And Kimmy witnessed it. A lot of divine feminines through this process will be put through situations like this where it's like they stumble upon something, or it's like the divine masculine gets kind of tied up into something that looks crazy, but it's not quite how it looks. But it's enough to get the divine feminine to run away in the other direction, or to disconnect, or to go on her path. Not because it's gone forever, but because it helps the divine masculine to realize, oh, no, 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 no. I may have been confused about someone from the past and someone of my future, but once we get them separated and everybody's in their independent corners, divine masculine is able to identify it that much easier. Whose role is connected to who? Who is who? They're able to differentiate that so much easier when it all comes out, justice energy. Okay? And so, being that Kimmy really was the divine feminine of that piece, it was like spirit allowed these things to happen because it was always going to be intended for it all to blow up. In Julia Roberts' character's face, Julianne, it was always intended to blow up in her face. And so it was allowed, okay? Because she needed to see some things. This is how karmic situations work in our favor. Because if we're open to the lesson, we can really grow. My best friend's wedding is a tale about a villain that not gets the guy. Because that would have been a horrible movie if they actually allow her to get the guy after all that. But it's a beautiful movie because they were real about the fact that she could never get this guy because it's not her guy. Every piece of evidence here tells us that the people that are really in love are those two. They're lovebirds. They showed it throughout the movie how Delmont Maroney's character, the way he looked at Cameron Diaz and the way that Cameron Diaz looked at him, they were lovebirds. They were like corny love. Like to anyone else outside of them, it would look kind of corny and mushy and just like what in the world? But to them, they couldn't take their eyes off each other. They couldn't stop touching each other. They were almost like opposites as well that came together. Um, and it almost was a surprise to them how much they loved each other. But it just was anyways. And so for Kimmy to stumble upon Julianne kissing her husband, what it we're learning about Kimmy. Kimmy, justice for Kimmy today. Just for Kimmy today. What did Kimmy do? I'm getting high. Let's look at this. Let's. What did Kimmy do when she came upon that scene of her divine masculine in the arms of their past without any kind of clarification of what happened or what was going on? What did Kimmy do? Did she run toward them? Did she start a fight? Did she start screaming? Did she call further attention to the scene and situation? Or did she run in the other direction? She did exactly what she's supposed to do. Kimmy was directed, terrified, because this is a spiritual connection. So Kimmy was directed. I can tell you this: it was her spiritual team that said, "Oh, no, 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 no! Don't cross go. Don't collect $200. Don't ask a single question. Run that way." Why? Because this way, that's chaos. And divine feminine don't run towards chaos. Divine feminine will run away from chaos. If there's chaos there, then you situate that. And you let me know later, okay? Kimmy wasn't asking no questions of her. She wasn't asking questions of him. She just got up out of there. Okay? And what happened once Kimmy got up out of there? Her divine masculine started chasing her. But what would have happened? Who would have he been? What would have happened if Kimmy decided, no, I'm engaging. I'm gonna go fight this bitch. I'm about to go pull her hair. I'm about to go fight him. We're gonna be howling and screaming, and this is the wedding. That would have been horrible. That would have been some Jerry Springer realness if she would have decided to go door A. But she went through door B. And guess what? Her counterpart was right there after her. And it took Julie Roberts' best friend. And this is how you know it's a friend. Because they'll give you that truth. Because a fake friend will say, girl, you better get him. Go get your man. See, look at how some of us were karmics. I was a karmic because I was that kid. I was like, girl, go get your man. This looks crazy. But if you say that's your man, go get your man, girl. As an adult that's been through some things, because as an adult, I was forced to be Kimmy. A lot of us was forced to be Kimmy. A lot of us received the Kimmy treatment, and a lot of us just shined anyways. Okay, and that's how it's been so easy for Divine Masculine to identify his counterpart in the same way that it was easy after a while for Dermot Mulroney to identify his counterpart, the one that was running away from him. He realized, oh shh. Not only did he realize that, but he realized the trap that he got himself into. He realized everyone's intentions. He realized what happened to the person that he was choosing and what she had to endure. He realized that. He also realized all of what Julian was doing behind his back. And he was disgusted. And I love that they showed how disgusted he was. Like, I will never forget the ways in which Dermot Mulroney would look at Julie Roberts when they met in that train station after it all came out, after it was all revealed and the veil was lifted. The way he looked at her was like, ooh, I would never forget it. I would never want anybody to look at me like that. But I would never do nothing that deserves something like that. That is how you should look at a villain. Okay? And so it was like she was starting to receive all of her comeuppance. But the beautiful thing about that movie was that Julie was going to give her a redemption arc. Okay? Because of that, because of all the damage she's seen that she's done, she felt the need of not just doubling down on that and making it worse, but to make it better. To bring these counterparts back together because she could see they're actually counterparts. They actually do love. She thought she knew what love was, and she thought she was jaded about love because she didn't really actually know what love was. She was too into herself to actually really experience what love could be. And so it was foreign to her, even in how Dermot Mulroney and Cameron Diaz interacted with each other as a couple. It was foreign to her. She was addicted to it. She couldn't stop looking at it, but it was something that was unusual to her because it was beneath. It was not. It was she's beneath that vibration. Even the way that she acted and conducted herself, she showed herself to be beneath a vibration. So she wouldn't ever have been able to understand the connection of that level to begin with. But her best friend had to ask her, okay, boopy, 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 you're running after him. She's running away. Okay? Who's running after you? And many a karmic have had to ask themselves this if they've had the courage enough to face themselves. Who's running after you? If no one's running after you, why are you running? Okay? That's what the billion I can't think of it. Rupert, not Graves. Rupert Everett? Yes, his fabulous gay friend that she had. But that's how you knew he was actually fabulous because he was able to give her that truth. Like, baby girl, she's running away. He's chasing her because that's the person that he wants. Who's chasing you? You have to let this go, baby, because it was just ego. You don't really love that man like that. You gotta let him go because he found the person that is his person. It's his person. It's her person. Okay? And she realized that. Okay? And so what did she do? She said, I got to put them back together. Okay? Because there's something she couldn't see. There's something that this couldn't be seen. Okay? How she was the one stopping a new beginning. Okay? But the thing is that what's due to you can't be stopped. And that's Kimmy's story. It doesn't matter what people try. It doesn't matter what people can think they can conceive of you. First of all, like we said before earlier this week, don't pay no mind to how people view you. Think of all the ways they tried to view Kimmy. Oh, she's preppy. Oh, she's so confined. Oh, she's boring. Oh, she's this, she's that. But when we got to meet and see Kimmy, we see, oh my gosh, she's so loving. She just brought her into her world just so welcoming. She even took the effort of not just throwing her any random bridesmaid dress, but she actually was thoughtful enough to say to Julianne, I know you like to be different. I don't want to just dress you up with some ugly bridesmaid dress. I want something that's unique to you. Something that makes you feel fabulous and fantastic. That's Kimmy. That's a divine empress feminine. She doesn't care. She wants you to look your best. She wants you to feel your best. She wants to set this up for you. She, Kimmy showed herself to be super graceful and loving and very Queen of Cups, very Empress, very divine feminine. And it's those very qualities that was always going to draw that divine masculine or Dermot Mulroney's character back to her. It wasn't any particular thing. It wasn't what she had. It wasn't what she belonged to. It was a personality type that Julia Roberts tried to pretend like she had. She tried to convince that man that she had those things, that she could learn those things. You remember those scenes? She's like, I got more moves and more things than you ever dreamed of. She tried real hard to convince him that she had grown up or that she was different too, but she wasn't. And it was going to show. You can't fake the funk. When it comes to these connections, you can't fake the funk when it comes to what it is you're trying to sell yourself as, because the proof is in the pudding. The divine feminine is going to act like the divine feminine. It doesn't matter if we receive that action or perceive it to be what it is at that time. Over time, it's as plain as day. It doesn't go away. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, regardless of what happened with Kimmy, the union that was promised happened anyway. And they were two people that came from two different worlds. That divine masculine was definitely his character was definitely more rugged, more street smart, right? Whereas Kenny's character was very much well to do or from money. But I do feel like there is something here. It's like there's a marriage that's happening here. There's a union here. There's a divine union. Someone could be marrying into a higher echelon than what they're used to because I keep being drawn to the differences and the contrast between Kimmy and Dermot Mulroney's character in the movie. Um, because it's something about it's like the divine masculine themselves was a little Dermot Mulroney's character. It was like even he was a little judgmental of Kimmy's character at first when he first met her, right? So it's like divine masculine could have been that way with you, could have been that way with their divine feminine. There could have been some times, or there could have been a time where they could have been easily persuaded against the divine feminine because of what they perceived in difference or because of what they perceived in personality type or something like that. It's something about the personality type because they're so different. Um, I also say that to say that there's some people in your divine masculine's world that will have to apologize to you as well because they may have partake or they may have partook in some behavior that was kind of against you. They may have sided with someone that they were more familiar with, but it really was your person's karmic. But they only sided with them because they were more familiar with that person, not because it was personal. It was vibrational, unfortunately. So for I think for your person, some of these people were able to evolve with your person or along with your person, okay? And some of the people were not able to evolve with your person, and so they got cut. Strings were cut, right? But I feel like if there's anyone that your person did not cut strings with, I feel like this is someone that was in fact able to evolve themselves too with your person, but they may have to come set something straight with you as well to kind of because they've also in the same that we're saying justice for Kimmy, they may have realized that wow, there's some justice that we need to allow for you because we harshly judged you and moved in a lot of different ways or may have talked ill will about you or on your name. So I don't know why I'm hearing that, but that may be the case as well. But the thing is that um what's made to be is made to be, my darlings. So that's where we're gonna end it. I feel like that's what it was. Like a union that's orchestrated cannot be stopped. And it doesn't matter what kind of drama or chaos happens here. I think, justice for Kimmy and do what Kimmy did. Don't run toward the chaos. Run from the chaos. Okay? And your person, best believe, will run for you, will run toward you. Because that's human nature. It's masculine energy, and this is a shocking, unbreakable bond. And there's nothing they can do about it. This is a spiritual connection. This card's a spiritual connection, okay? And look at that. It almost looks like it's a whole journey for them to get together. All right? 27 can be significant. A relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Okay? So it doesn't matter how different these pairs can look on the outside or to the people that are around them. These connections are soul connections. So these people can seem different on the outside, but are just bound to each other. We got to take a chance on love. Okay, so these counterparts could have very well been jaded along the way, but it's due to recognition and acknowledgement and acceptance of each other that both are open to taking a chance on this thing called love. Okay, This says, when we love, our lives are changed forever, all right? This person's going to do anything they can for you. Simple acts of kindness is what I was just hearing in my head. I was hearing, anything you want, anything you want, you got it, anything you need. Um, every time I hold you, I begin to understand. Everything about you tells me I'm your man. Everything about you tells your person that they're your person. And they're saying, I'll give my life to be with you, and no one can do the things you do. Yeah, yes, anything you want, you got it, babe. Anything you need, you got it. Oh, anything at all, oh, you got it, baby. Anything at all. I feel like this person also has a connection to animals. They both have a connection to animals. Okay. Spirit is saying, listen with your heart when it comes to your person, because you know that they're your person. And regardless of what people have tried to paint around your person to stop these connections, Spirit is always, that's why Spirit wanted you to hone your intuition, because they want you to follow your intuition. They want you to follow your heart, your soul, what feels right, not what it looks like, what feels right. Woo! That's it. That's it. I got it. I think we did it. I was not sure how I was going to get taped together, and I'm still never quite sure how everything truly comes out until after I watch it and play back after the fact. But anywho, I think we did it. I think that's that came together in a bow. You know, um, one more thing. What does the person want to say to my collective? That's where we'll end it. Specifically, what do they want to say? Okay. You know how hard it was to let you go. Okay. So this person tried to pretend, right? That they let you go. I hope that you can forgive me one day. And that one day, baby, is one sweet day. Oh, speaking of days, they say I remember every detail of that day. I can't stop thinking of you. Mmm. What is that song? I can't stop thinking of you. Um, Dreaming of You by Selena. Um, this person saying I love you because I hear that part of the song of I love you. Wait, yeah, I love you too. It's like a part of the lyric where her lover says to her, I love you, and she turns to him and she says, I love you too. So I heard that in my head. I'm hearing that in my mind. I'm hearing counterparts saying I love you to each other. I'm out of here. Y'all, until next time, take care of yourselves. I love you. If you haven't heard it today, then you heard it here first. I love you. All right? Take care of yourself, please.